Hey everybody, my name is Tim Meyer. I'm 22 years old and I'm currently studying composition for film and theater at Artes in the Netherlands. I wanted to make this video as some sort of first episode of a Diary of an Artist series where I just talk a bit about my life, who I am, what I'm doing, what I'm struggling with, and just everything regarding the creative life of, in my case, trying to become an artist. Talking about myself, I can say that I'm currently in the third year of my studies, so I have roughly 1.5 years to go until real life hits and I have to get out of the safe bubble of school and into the real creative world. And I am still a bit unsure of who I am or who I want to be, so I'm really glad that I have this time to also still figure out where I want to go. Right now I'm mainly working as a composer for film, TV and dance, but recently I also started working more as a filmmaker myself for dance films. So the entire last year I spent working on a dance film, and I'm currently doing more dance films to trying to get better in the field and in the craft. But I'm also a music producer. I'm part of a small independent Danish label called Petit Victory Collective, and with them I'm producing music, I'm doing live concerts, and I'm also very interested in photography and everything connected to that. I like shooting portraits, I like shooting concerts. So yes, I'm very interested in all these different kinds of things, and right now I'm trying to figure out how to best combine them, or to see where best I can fit in and find my niche as a creative person and as an artist. But maybe it's also best to look back a bit and start at the beginning of my creative journey to just give you a quick summary of how I ended up right here. Basically, I started as a keyboard player. I was fascinated just by making sounds and making music, so I started getting lessons. And time after time, I spent more and more time doing music. I started playing in bands. We had like a rock punk band. I was also playing in a singer-songwriter and a soul band. And I also started writing more and more music myself, because with one of the bands we wanted to be part of competitions, and for competitions in Germany you had to write your own songs. So I started doing that, but I quickly realized that the way of writing songs in bands can be quite hard, because there's a lot of people involved and a lot of people that have to pull on the same string. So I also started to produce my own electronic music, where I have the complete freedom of whatever I wanted to do without compromises, which was very freeing for me. So I spent less and less time playing live, but more time producing my own music at home after school. And this interest in producing music kind of stuck with me. I released my first album when I was 17, of like 2 years of combined work of all sorts, and I just never stopped making new music, and I loved making new music. So I was thinking like, okay, what do I do after school? How do I get on from here? And my first idea was to become a music producer. But the problem I had with music production as a study, but also as a job, was that in music production you mainly focus on producing other people's music, and I wanted to still be able to write my own music and produce myself, but I did not want to sing because I cannot sing, and I wanted to make instrumental music that is my music, that still has a way of making money with it. So after talking to some people in the industry, I realized that maybe film music was the way to go, because in film music you can write your own music, it can be instrumental, and you're part of a bigger picture, so that your music does not stand alone, but still you can and you have to create and produce your own music, which was just very beautiful. I would have never thought that it was even possible for me to become a film composer, because I had no background in classical music. I was taught by jazz musicians and learned electronic music, and I always associated film with orchestral music for some reason. But when I started out listening more and more and getting more and more interested in film as well, I realized that also there's still electronic music, atmospheric music, and all the little music that was different than what you would normally hear in a film score, or that you would normally expect in a film score, was the stuff that really interested me. So I continued on this journey, and I started doing a pre-course, and then started my studies at Artes to kind of become a film composer initially. And then starting out at Artes was basically a dream come true for me. Finally, I had the time to full-time commit to music and commit to creativity, whereas before it was always like after school and trying to fit in music into something different. But also at Artest there's a lot of different projects, and there's a lot of projects that do not involve film. For example, we are working on one project with dancers. We have one project that is completely free, where we just have to create some kind of performance in a week. And I also fell in love with these kind of things, and especially I fell in love with working with dance and working with dancers, because I feel like this connection between music and dance is so special, because both art forms are very intuitive and subconscious, and that creates like a very magical and special bond that I just wanted to explore more. So I started doing more dance projects, and also started filming them, because I still, from my time at school, had an interest in photography and in filmmaking, and I thought that would be a great opportunity to kind of combine all my passions into one thing and create dance films with my own music. So yeah, during my time at Artest so far, I learned that not only do I want to do film music, but I also would like to work more with dance and create my own films and dance films. But I'm also very interested still in producing music and playing live concerts and doing photography and all these kind of things together. I just in general would love to collaborate with as many people as possible to create something that is bigger than yourself, because I think that's like the most beautiful thing that you can do, and just enjoy the time you have creating something together with other people. So this is where I am right now, and this is also the point where I'm a bit stuck and struggling with who am I, what am I going to do, what do I pursue, and how do I pay my bills, and what will my job description be, and where will I be in the next 5 years. And all these thoughts just keep circling in my head, and I would like to find some kind of security or reassurance that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm on the right path with what I'm doing. And I think one of the biggest problems I'm still facing is that I still am trying to put myself into a box, that I'm trying to label myself with something, with like a job description that's just a one sentence thing of who I am and what I do. But to be honest, I don't think that's really who I am as a person. My mom always tells the stories of how when I was a little kid, I was always playing with Legos while also looking through a book on the side and listening to another audiobook just to keep me occupied. And that story really stuck with me, because for the longest time now I've been trying to figure out this one thing that I want to do and pursue, and this one thing that will make me happy forever. But now I'm starting to think that it's also okay and possible that there's many things that I like to do and that I like to pursue and that will keep me happy. I still remember times even before I was doing music where I was just in the basement with friends shooting some shitty little short films, or taking my first little camera to vacations and taking a ton of pictures there. And I always loved that, and these kind of like passions were always there. And I think it would be the truest I can be to myself to also keep pursuing all of these passions all together. If it is composing for film, composing for dance, shooting dance films, shooting other types of films, producing my own music or other people's music, and mixing and mastering and doing photography work, I think all of these things are me, and I should be doing all of these things because I'm having fun doing that. And in that, maybe I don't have like this single label. Maybe I'm not this person that is doing one thing, but maybe I'm more like a chameleon, just like adapting its color to whatever it's doing at the moment and what it's faced with. And I believe as long as I'm happy with what I'm doing and I'm falling in love day by day with the craft I'm doing, then isn't that the best thing that I can do and the happiest I can be in this life? There's this really amazing interview of Steve Jobs out there where he's talking about his secrets to life. And this interview really helped me with reassuring me that I'm on the right path with pursuing all of my passions, no matter how scary that might sound or be.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it, that's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
And I know that this might sound naive, and to be honest, I also think it is very naive. But I also think that, especially as an artist, there are so many things that are dependent on situations and people you meet and people you know and luck, that there's no real way of knowing where you will end up and where you will be. So I think as an artist, the only thing that you can do is to trust yourself, to listen to your heart, to follow your passions, and to try to be as happy as you can be every single day. And if you are that, no matter who you are or what you're doing, I think you're on the right path.